Okay, so this is the second part. They cut me off. So this is the second part um, of this documentary. Um, if you're wondering what I do around guys that I have crushes on, it depends on if I know them or not. I know who they are, and I look up to them. See, the thing about Facebook, I can sometimes get a little bit too forward on Facebook, only because it's not like you being right there in front of them. It doesn't make it awkward, but at the same time, I know I probably say some things that might not be so appropriate, but sorry about that. And Matt Sanders, I'm sorry. I said some things a while back ago that were, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was in a weird mood. So, um, yeah, I know he's married, but that man, oh my god, he's so hot. And he knows it too. He knows it. But, they're just one of those bands that I'm sorry, but I would be nervous if I saw them. I went to their concert back in December at the Target Center. I did not get to see them, however, because um, I was at Kateri Residence, and that's a halfway house. And I was there because I just needed a place to stay, and I have had drug and alcohol past addiction. So, I mean, I never really gone through AA that much, except when I was in treatment when I was like 19. So it gave me the opportunity to finally take AA seriously, and I learned a lot actually. I mean, I've been sober for a long time, but it really helped. And other areas in my life that I didn't actually think that I needed AA, but you know, I don't go anymore, but what I learned from there, I learned a hell of a lot. But I'm gonna tell you, if I were to meet Avenged Sevenfold, I would be very nervous because they've gotten big really quickly, and I love their music. I own their CD Nightmare, and it's nerve wracking for someone like that, someone that big. If it's a band that I don't know, then you know there's no tension at all. I'm comfortable because I don't know who they are. You know, it doesn't really mean much to me until I see them, and then I'm like, oh, they're either really cool or yeah, kind of boring. I've met a couple of rockers. I'm not gonna name the band, but this one guy, oh my god, he was so dull. Like he couldn't hold a conversation for crap, and expecting to be like real talkative and stuff. A really big band. I mean, as big as Avenged Sevenfold, but it was another band. This guy was sitting there at the booth, and he was over the shirts and stuff. I don't know if he was actually one of the band members or one of the crew members, but he didn't really have much of a personality. I mean, he was nice, but he always just kept looking down. And I was like, well, I was figuring he probably was tired. He's probably had a hard day. There's several reasons, but I just wasn't very impressed. I was expecting a little bit more, but it was just a weird moment. You get those, and there was this other group, the dance party, and I sat there hanging out with them for a good couple of hours off and on, in between them being busy, and some of the members, I mean, that's a really cool band because they're really super friendly, they're really nice, And if you ever get the chance to meet them, I highly advise you to, because they are like the chillest people. They are so dope, and they are the shit. So yeah, that was fun hanging out with them. Now for non-celebrities, just normal people. Um, yeah, there's like, I don't mind at all telling a guy that I like him. And really, it's not so much about him being a celebrity or whatever. He could be. I like musicians because we're on the same page. We share a lot of the same interests. More than likely, we probably listen to some of the same bands. We're kind of doing the same thing. So, when you think about who you want to be in a relationship with, logically, you want to be somebody who shares the same interests, who can balance you out. You want someone who you don't have to try to explain to them why you do what you do, and it's got to work. I mean, it's not just, oh, well, I've got a crush on some guy that's all the way over there in California with a big career. It's a mature adult decision to decide to do something for me. And when you have two artists, it doesn't matter what label they're under. It doesn't matter if they're even signed or not. It's easier for them to work out in a relationship because they get where each other's coming from. They got each other's back. They know, hey, well, I might have to go into the studio, might have to go on tour. They understand things like that. If you were to put a doctor and a musician together, I mean, I'm guessing it's probably happened before. But a doctor is mostly going to be on call 24/7. An artist might also be on call 24/7, especially if he's doubling as a producer or as an engineer. But more than likely, you're not going to have much of a relationship. You both being very busy people, how can you even have a relationship there? With what I'm doing and music being what I do, it's not so much about what I'm going to get from them so much as how we can help each other grow as people, as professionals, and how we want to raise our kids, what we think about life, where we want to see ourselves 10 years from now, where we want to see ourselves right now, where we are. There's mature, informed decisions about what goes on in a relationship. No relationship is going to be perfect. I'm going to tell you right now, if you think that marriage is just all honky-dory and, you're wrong. I mean, it's a challenge, and you have to fight to stay together. You have to fight to make it work. If you really love that person and they really love you, you shouldn't have to fight so much that you exhaust yourself. It should come naturally. And you should be able to handle situations, be able to make informed decisions, and work on problems together. Your job is to trust each other and to allow yourself to be trusted. Be honest with yourself and be honest with your partner. And if you are honest with yourself first, then everything else will fall in place just like that. And you really don't have a whole lot to worry about. But if you lie to yourself, then you are self-sabotaging every chance at a normal, productive relationship. But the one thing that I do want to say is, I am human. I'm 25 years old, so I'm still in the peak of my life. Yes, I have 3 kids, but, I'm human. I'm going to put it like that, just for the sake of it being a YouTube video, I don't want to get too discreet. I mean, too, not discreet, that's not the word. Too, open on certain topics, because there might be kids watching, you know. So I'm not going to really go into that, but adults, you get what I'm saying. And yes, I do have a crack tooth. Keep in mind, that's not because I've ever done crack. I was forced cocaine once, but this is not from that. Actually, the reason why I have a tooth missing, is because I got in a fight with an ex-boyfriend. I was in self-defense mode, but we got into it one night, and I got a chip in my tooth. Well, not a chip, but a little crack. And then during Halloween, when I was over at the mother that I grew up knowing as my biological mother, I was over at her house, and me and my little sister, we got trick-or-treating and everything, and it's me and Daniela and Mika, my two little sisters. We were standing around this bowl, and we had this thing where we were putting a bunch of candy in with like soda pop and stuff. And we were pretending it was a cauldron, and we were like witches stirring our brew and stuff, you know. It was just a fun little thing. It was cute. And so Daniela dared me to drink it, drink some of the concoction we made of sugar, which none of us really did much with it. It was just fun to make it, and we wasted a bunch of candy in that. But, yeah, so I did it, and of course, you know, when you have a crack in your tooth and you have a liquid form of sugar, it gets in there, you can brush it all you want to. You can try to go to the dentist and they can try to take care of it, but there's really no easy way to get that out of there. You get a space literally like that. Okay, just imagine this is a large picture of a tooth. I get the England right. Right there. Okay, and then you have sugar coming up, going right in the middle of that. So the sugar is like that, and your tooth is, the crack in your tooth is like this, right? But then it's going up there. So depending on how big the crack is, you might have sugar going all the way up in by the root. You don't really, it's hard to tell exactly how big the crack is. So basically, it's a lost tooth. The only thing you can do is get pulled. At that point, that's really all there is left to do. So yeah, so if you see me and I have a gap tooth, don't think it's because I'm like a big druggie or something. I don't know what your thoughts are on me. I'm just trying to nip everything in the bud and get everything straightened out, so you guys can really see the real me, and this is the way I am, and these are things about me that I'm disclosing with you because I just want to be real with you, America. I want to be real with you, and you know, I'm just me. I get stressed out. I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I was abused as a child, and I'm a lot stronger for what I've gone through. And I've gone through a lot of shit, but you know, there's people that have gone through more than I have. So, and when I meet people like that, it's a really humbling feeling, you know, that as fortunate as I am, some other people aren't so fortunate. But yeah, like, I've come a long way from where I was. I'm not crazy. Yes, I am Christian Wiccan. I'm not pagan. I do recognize the gods and goddesses as spiritual entities. I don't worship them. I was born a blood rate medium, so I do hear spirits a lot. I have crossed over spirits. I've had to perform exorcisms. I'm also an exorcist through the power of the Holy Spirit, yes. And that's what he told me he wanted me to do with that ability.